skin diving. Each week we take you to one of the world's most beautiful diving and vacation destinations. Our goal is to bring you, our viewers, a program that's it's Rio once more. Rio de Janeiro, that is. Considered the world's heartbeat destination for many jet setters, Rio is the first place your Scuba World Club Aquarius crew landed on a 10-day expedition to bring you diving and good times from the ever-fascinating country of Brazil. Let's join correspondent Tracy Milholland as she strolls among the beautiful people of Ipanema Beach. Here, sun worshippers base themselves in the soothing scents of coconut and banana. Stimulating, yes? Rio cabbies are world famous. Faster than a speeding bullet has little meaning here. Cabbies rarely stop at signal lights, no matter the color, and pedestrians are fair game 24 hours a day in the shooting gallery of Rio streets. Oddly enough, accidents and dented fenders are rare. But to make a long story short, we took one of these famous rides to the marina where we joined Tony Silveira aboard his yacht for an afternoon of aquatic sightseeing in Rio de Janeiro Bay. Seeing Rio from the water is like your first sip of sweet wine. Breathtaking. Just imagine what those early Portuguese explorers would think if today they could see this mecca of skyscrapers punctuated by high-tech water sports. Even with all of man's additions, there is still a serenity that touches something deep inside all of us when the sun quietly folds the page on another day's chapter and the moon kisses the other cheek of Brazil. It's nightlife. It's Babado. Fernando de Noronhia is one of the most preserved diver destinations on Earth. The catalyst that brought all of this together was our cousin, the dolphin. Centuries before man came to this spit of land, the dolphins laid claim to it. Recently made famous by Jack McKinney and Russell Coffin in Jack's farewell film, the island of Fernando de Noronhia is very often and mistakenly referred to as the Bay of Dolphins. But the Bay of Dolphins is only a small part of this delicate, precious ecosystem.
As a part of modern Brazil, Fernando de Noronha has an active conservation program to save the dolphin. This tiny island also gave the world lambada, the dance craze that is sweeping the United States and Europe. But very few people realize that Fernando de Noronha was a major stepping stone in the colonization of the New World. An expert on this subject is Randall Fonseca.
Okay, this was soon after America has been discovered by this continent has been discovered by Columbus, and soon after it was 1492, and the Portugal starts to pay attention to this area, and after discovering it happened because of the currents and the wind was in their favor and took them right to the island in the middle of the night. So they wrecked the big ship. It was a 500-ton ship. The best ship ever made in that time, and they went down, they wrecked right here. They thought they were abandoned, completely abandoned, but one of the ships came back on this frigate just taking care of the ship and got the crew, and Americo Vespucci was with them. Americo Vespucci went in this ship to the Brazilian coast and decided to go down the coast drawing the first map ever made in South America. And so they went back to Europe months later, And he gave this drawing to the German people, who was the best cartographers in that time. And so the German gave the name of the map like Terra of Amerique, what means land of America. America because America Vespucci. And then from there on, they all call the whole continent like land of America, Amerique.
Enough history for now. Let's do what we like to do best. Go diving. Randall Fonseca, our diving host, operates Agua Claro, or Clearwater Divers. He's also an environmentalist. He will definitely expect you to respect his reef. Getting to the dive sites is an easy, short boat ride. Getting on the boat is another story altogether. But we'll get into that later. The first thing you notice is the visibility. From our past experiences in Brazil, we expected California visibility. To our surprise, we could see forever. Randall says this is not unusual. However, don't expect it everywhere we plan to dive to be the same. A giant manta ray, so inappropriately named the devilfish, and probably the most elegant sentinel of Mother Ocean, comes to greet us. He swiftly slips away to tell others of our presence. Clustering around us are the common fish species found in the warm waters of the Caribbean. What is amazing are the numbers. This is a French angelfish of gigantic proportions. These reefs have not had the pressure other diving areas have had since the popularity of the diving explosion. We don't know if this has anything to do with the size of the angelfish, but the possibility exists that it does. Mr. Balloonfish jousting with one of our dive guides, Antonio. Randall and a spiny lobster. Randall is the one with the regulator. More new friends. Just as we suspected, the mantas are coming to call, probably summoned by our earlier visitor. Just relax and enjoy this aquatic ballet. Muy bonita, see? On camera, Scuba World's Jim Aiden. On every dive, we encountered green moray eels. So unaccustomed to divers, these beauties wouldn't even accept food. We will caution you not to feed the critters. Randall straightened us out about that. It could upset the natural order of things. Sea turtles are common in these waters. On 10 dives, we encountered at least that many turtles. Brazil's protection policies are working. Too bad the rest of the world isn't following suit. The island is a haven for birds. Some fly for thousands of miles, seduced by a rare species of shrimp that exist only in a backwash of brackish water near the beach. Canadian seabirds arrive on De Noronhia so exhausted, they land on the beach and walk to the shallow pond that holds the last vestige of this rare shrimp. Left behind as a signature of U.S. presences, ancient jeeps are maintained and operated by the local citizens. In truth, they're the only way to successfully transit the rugged terrain. Bone-jarring rides are a cheap price to pay for such rewarding beauty. The silence is so loud you will testify under oath that you can hear the harps of angels. Landing surf is soothingly audible near the beach. In the mountains, bird chirps roar through the trees like freight train whistles. No competitive noise to dampen their thrust. The silence of De Noronhia is exhilarating. Your nerves simply bristle after decades of big city anesthesia. Mother Nature finally thrust de Noronha into being with a big bang, a volcanic action that was alien to the other islands nearby. Then she added surf, that's rated as the 5th best in the world by Surfer magazine. In sympathy to the future, she left only the noise of the ocean as a reminder of her power. As divers, our fascination with the dolphin seems to be endless. These seemingly happy, carefree creatures frolic in the ocean, but we can only visit briefly. Is it envy? Probably not. It is some instinctual attraction that brings us together. Both of us love the ocean. Both of us possess a high degree of intelligence. Men like Randall Fonseca and Russell Coffin recognized this early on and have strived to create a protected area for our cousins, understanding the need to protect the dolphin. When mankind left the sea, a part of us stayed behind.
But after a while, the islands were completely abandoned. Nobody came over here. So pirates used to use the island as a nest. And the island was occupied by pirates for a long time, maybe 100 years, until French people came over. So the French were the first people to describe the dolphins, the existence of the dolphins in the island. And in their maps, they have like the island of the dolphins, because of the presence of the dolphins they found in here. And Portugal then decided to take back the island. So they decided to use the island from 1700 on as a prison, as a penal colony for people that was undesirable for the Portugal crown in Brazil. And the prison remains in here for about 200 years.
This was a maximum punishment facility. Prisoners were placed inside a small holding room. In the center was a hole. When a new victim was added, someone, weakened by days without food or water, had to go. Prisoners fell some 300 feet to the ocean below us. The ignoble pit was first to go when Brazil gained her independence, but the prison operated until 1942. Then we Americans came. Today, artifacts litter the landscape, even though Mother Nature is doing her best to dissolve them into memories. But some die hard, like the many howitzers that are silently being eaten by the jungle. Here's the boat loading story we promised. Jim Aiden is handing up one of our cameras. Look difficult? Remember, divers are tough. Our scuba angel, Tracy Milholland, is first in the water. Caverns are abundant because of the volcanic action that created de Noronha. We observed a difference in the volcanic structures in Hawaii and the ones here. Soft coral and other features found in the Caribbean are taking over the lava paths. Our guess is that Fernando de Noronha is much older than its Pacific counterpart. Be sure he appears to be a member of the grouper family. We estimate he weighs in the range of 30 pounds. We contacted William Huffman, aquarium supervisor at the Fort Worth Zoological Division. He identified this guy as a marbled grouper. They range to the Caribbean. We haven't seen those dive. Caribbean and Pacific rolled up in a neat package called Mid-Atlantic Diving. Blue tang forage in large schools. Everything for Club Aquarius and Scuba World. Bill Smith, the owner, has spent years scouting dive sites in Brazil. Fernando de Noronha is his crowning discovery. Job well done, Bill.